Hey guys, it's Janie. Welcome back to the Crafting Bookworm. I have a review for you. Okay, welcome back, you guys. If you're new here, welcome, and I thank you guys. I appreciate you so much. So yes, I have another review for you, and this one is The Stars Are Dying by Chloe C. Penaranda. I think that's how you say that. It is a beautiful book. All of it is beautiful. The inside, we've got this beautiful gold end pages. That's not all. The cover is also beautiful. All the way around, it's a gorgeous book. So the story behind this is that last year when my family came in the fall, we went to Broken Bow in Oklahoma, and they got these beautiful cabins there and this and that, and they just wanted to go someplace real quick to pick a couple things up. So we found this really small, somewhat creepy Walmart. Now, if you live in Broken Bow and you love that Walmart, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to, but it was a creepy Walmart. So anyway, we were standing there, my niece and I, and we were just talking about how it felt wrong. And I said, could you imagine if they have a book section, how big it would be? It'd be like this little one shelf thing. And so my niece decided she's going to go look for one. I didn't expect a book section in this Walmart because it was so small. But sure enough, they had a one shelf section with books. And this book was there. So I and my sister both decided to get it and said, hey, we're going to read this together. Now, there is a warning in here. And it's I do appreciate when authors give us the warnings. It says, please read with care. While not core themes, this book touches on the subject matter as follows: domestic violence situation, emotional manipulation, grief and loss, explicit sexual scenes, fantasy violence and gore, suicidal ideation, and overcoming addiction. So there is that warning. I'm going to read you the synopsis so you can get a feel for the book. The brightest star needs the darkest night, which is a quote throughout the book. Estrella is a prisoner of her own mind, the past sliding from her grasp like water, but she knows she must escape the cruel arms that hold her captive and find her clouded memories once again. This quest leads her to I think it's called the Libertatum, a succession of trials hosted by the king in which 5 human lands compete for a cycle of safety from the vampires seeking blood, claiming souls, and savaging after death. So there are blood vampires and soul vampires in this book. But even winning the Libertatum will not keep Estrella safe from vampires. She's made a bargain with the beautiful and deadly Night, who stalks her dreams and haunts her waking hours. He promises to keep her safe, but she knows she cannot trust him, cannot trust his lies, even as she finds herself drawn deeper and deeper into his seductive embrace. Caught between Night and her own mysteries, Estrella must decide if winning the Libertatum for her kingdom is worth her life, or if protection and the answers to her past really are her strongest desires. So, let's talk about Night. Night, it is not clarified exactly what he is in this book. My sister was reading it, my other sister, not my sister who was supposed to be reading it with us. I told her we were going to read it, so I don't know if she's reading it or not. But my other sister was further than me, and I had asked her, do we know exactly what Night is? And she said yes. I did not find any clarification of that at all. Now, in that synopsis, they make him sound like he is a vampire. And some of the characteristics are along those lines, but some of those kind of have him not. You know what I mean? I'm not going to tell you what he is in case you want to read this, because in book 2 is when I discover everything about Night, because we end up going back in the past with Night before Estrella. So yeah, but Night and Estrella don't have a great relationship, but through a bonding, they, I guess, crave one another. I don't know. I don't really think you could call it love, because it wouldn't be so wishy-washy. The magical elements in this book are pretty cool. The things that Night can do with Estrella, and those are pretty cool. I mean, it's happened in other books. I'm not saying that it's brand new, but Estrella really is not that person that just crumbles whenever Night's around. She does kind of stick to her guns, and then she ends up falling for whatever Night is doing. But they are enemies. They were born enemies, okay? And they try to fight those odds. Now, how I feel about Night, no, I don't really like him. He's written well for his character, but for Estrella, I don't. I don't trust his motives or anything either, and I'm sure that's how the author intended on writing him, okay? So it's kind of like Jax, the Prince of Hearts from Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. He had that same feel to me. I didn't feel like he was good for her, but I liked him as he was written. Like, she did really well, and I feel like our author writes Night really well if she wants to keep him to that persona. And I feel like the portrayal of him is written well for vampires, if that's what we want to say. It's really kind of odd what his background is. And I'm reading the book, and I'm like the whole time thinking, it doesn't add up. You don't act like a vampire. You don't act like this or that. Or so anyway, I was happy to find out in book 2 it's clarified. Okay. And so both the characters, I enjoy the way they were written. I like that Estrella is really strong. And then this competition, I can't tell you how that part comes about, because you read that Estrella enters it. I'm not going to tell you how that comes about, because there is a part in here that leads to that. And I don't want to give that part away, because, you never know. So anyway, the plot of the story really, it drew me in. It really did. And like I said, for the second book, we go back, not the whole book, just in snippets, we go back to Night Past. And you start finding out some more things. So I like how she wrote that. So you get the upfront story, and then you get to find out, what's playing in the background of it. So it was put together really well. Even though the book is gorgeous, the font is not. It is super tiny, so I ended up getting it on my Kindle. This one and the second one. I don't remember if I made mention that I got the third book on order. It comes out in December. And it, too, is beautiful. So, yes, I'm working my way through book 2. But, yeah, it's a pretty good book. It's like I said, romantasy, because, you've got these two tangling. But the storyline is really, really good. And, just like the warning said, there is violence and gore in this book. Not to an extreme, I don't feel like. Just like the sexy times is not, well, they're extreme, but there's not a lot of it, is what I'm trying to say, I guess. So, yeah, really, really enjoying it. If anybody has read this book, let me know down in the comments and what your thoughts are on Night as a character. I really like to kind of know other people's ideas about it. But yeah, like I said, I'm on book 2 now. Maybe at some point I'll do a series review when when I've read all 3 of them, but that will be a long ways down the road considering it doesn't come out till December. So, but yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I thank you so much for staying tuned, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.